Hello everybody, welcome to my channel Ashley's Treasure, and today I'm going to be making a little wedding card. I'm doing a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That's my favorite size cards to make. And so I'm going to use some gold foil that is 4 and 5 or 5 1/4. So it'll be a quarter of an inch shorter. And it's kind of hard to see, but this is even finer. This is going to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So it will have a very fine gold foil border around the wood grain. And the wood grain paper I got from this paper collection from Park Lane. It's woodland, and I used the wood from that. And then I found this little saying that said "Forever and Always," which I thought was perfect, which was also one of Park Lane's that I got from that's called Wedding. And so I used that one in there. And then I fussy cut some of these white flowers out. I got a variety of different sizes and some extra leaves. And you can see where I cut them out from the sheet. I got it from this collection. What is it? Southern Blues. And this one was from Michael's a long time ago. But you can see right there on the cover. And the wood grain, I'm going to use Tim Holtz like 3D embossing folder, the wood grain one, and I'm just trying to center it just right. And since it was already wood grain, I thought it'd be nice to have some 3D texture to it to add some more character to it instead of just being plain flat paper. And so now I'm going to put it through my Sizzix, and some of it tore a tad bit. I should have missed some water on it first to help with the embossing, but that's okay. I got the I'm going to ink the sides of it and some of the parts that cracked so none of the white shows, and I used walnut stain. I was trying to find the regular ink one, but I couldn't find it at the time, so I used the oxide one. For this, I prefer using the regular ink over the oxide, but it still worked for what I was going for. And so now I'm just lined up to make sure everything looks good. And then I am going to use these dies that I got from Michael's a long time ago. And I love it because they have ovals, and each size the oval gets bigger. It has a different design, a different cut to it. But this is the smallest one. This one is just plain. And so I'm just trying to center this just right because I only get one chance on this. And so I'm putting some washi tape down so it won't wiggle as I put it through my Sizzix. And so here I'm just putting it in there, pushing it through, and it cut perfect. And so now I got the next size bigger, and I'm going to use gold foil. Since the writing on it is in gold foil, I thought, it could use some more gold foil, and so that's why I also have a border of gold foil on the card as well around the wood grain. And so now I'm just getting the little holes out and getting that out of the way. And then also trying to get this tape out. It stuck pretty good after getting pressed through the Sizzix. It kind of made it a little hard to get off, but it didn't tear anything, and it all came off, and I can still use the extra piece as well. I could add like a little saying in there and layer that on top or something, because it was still in really good condition and really cute. So I'm definitely going to save that and put that aside for something else. And so now I got the Forever and Always, and I was going to go right on top of there like so. And I end up using my art glitter glue. It took a while because I haven't used it in a while. It was starting to dry up and clog up, so I was having the hardest time getting it to work again. But finally I got it going. And then I'm going to glue the back of this paper as well. And I think it's safe to start putting onto the gold foil, but I'm not going to add that onto the card yet. I'm just going to do this part first, and I'm just trying to center it, make sure it's all correct. I kind of stuck the center in first and then kind of positioned it before it dried. And now I'm going to press it really good, and then I'm going to go around the edges to make sure no glue oozed out because it's very noticeable on gold foil. And then I was debating about having the saying further up or in the middle. But I'm going to go towards the middle, and I'm going to use these 2 scraps of ribbon that I found. I found this gold scrap of like gold paper ribbon, and then I'm going to use this simple floral lace that you can find pretty much anywhere in any store. They still sell it, and I find it in thrift stores all the time. And I liked it because it had white flowers just like I was fussy cutting out. And I thought it looked really pretty having that see-through gold scrap ribbon that I found at a thrift store behind it, and I really love that. It gave some more character and had some more gold showing out, so everything's bordered with gold. on it, and I thought that looked great. And here I was debating if I should have it in the center or further up. I think now I should have had it further up a little bit, but I actually end up just having it centered. And so I'm going to be wrapping the ribbon around it. So I'm just cutting enough as I need. I don't need the whole thing. And same with the ribbon as well, the lace ribbon. And I'm going to fold them in the back and have them glued in the back. And so I'm going to use the little squares on my cutting board to try to center them as well as I can so that it's perfectly centered. And so that way it won't be crooked and sideways at an angle. And then since I was having problems with my art glitter glue, I tried using my glue stick. But here I'm still positioning it just right, trying to line it up just right. Here we go. Now I'm going to use my glue stick and try adding some on there. Normally it works with everything because it's permanent glue stick. But I actually had kind of a hard time with this specific ribbon. I don't know what kind of ribbon it was, but I had a really hard time getting it to stick. So that's when I went to my washi tape and just taped it down. No one's going to see it, so it's okay. And then I did the same thing on the bottom as well, or the other end, so that it'll stay in place. All right, everything's lined up just right, and it's nice and tight and straight. And now I'm going to do the same thing with this lace ribbon as well and try and make it centered. And I wanted to make sure that it was centered where it had the same flowers on both sides instead of just randomly thrown on there. I'm a little OCD with that sometimes. I always want things to be symmetrical. And so again, I'm not even going to bother with the glues. I was having the hardest time with the glues, so I was just adding the washi tape and adding that on there as well to make sure it stays tight. Perfect. Okay, so now I was playing with the flowers that I fussy cut out and trying to position them where it would look good. And sorry, I'm kind of off camera. I didn't realize I was like a third of the way off camera. I'm using my little tweezers, and I actually got my art glitter glue working again, so I'm going to use that first. And I thought it would be safe to start adding the saying on there because all the other ones will be on top of it. I didn't realize it till now looking at this. I should have added some foam behind the flowers and through the little saying right there too, to add some more character to it, to add some more dimension. I think that really would have topped it off. I definitely would recommend that. Normally I do that sometimes, especially for being one that I'm handing to somebody. And now if I was mailing it, I would add the least amount of foam as possible because it costs a lot more that way. So here I'm just going one at a time. I'm going from what's going to be all the way in the back and work my way up and just adding little glue on there with my little tweezers. That helps a lot to make sure I get it exactly where I want it to be. And then all the extra leaves, I'm going to add some behind it to add some more character and give some more green in it instead of just white. And I need a little bit more on the bottom. See, this is where it would have been good to add some dimension underneath that so that it would stick better, because it's kind of hard going over that the two layers of ribbon. That does add a tad bit of dimension, but when you glue over it, you start seeing the difference. So I should have added a little bit of foam, you know, on the top of it, you know, behind it, and then on the bottom to go around the ribbons, but I didn't think of that again till after I already glued everything down. And so now I'm going to do a little floral cluster, a little bit bigger than the one on the top right, on the bottom left, and cutting some extra leaves off that were blocking the other flowers. And I'm going to have it right there next to the A, right in between the flower and the leaf there. That's going to be like the big one and going off from that. I'm going to have these little ones behind it. Trying to figure out where in the world to position another flower down there. And then like another one right there. And then I'm going to add that little one to add 3, since there's 3 little ones on the top right. So there's going to be 3 small ones on the bottom left. And then I got some extra leaves to, you know, hide in little nooks and crannies. So I'm starting with the bottom ones first, which was a little tricky because it was so fine. So I did one of the little tulips first, and then the second one, so I had it exactly where I wanted it. So I'm just picking that up a little bit with the tweezers and gluing it down. And now I'm going to do the big one right there, just right, so it lines up with the letter A. And make sure it doesn't get covered. And now adding the one on the bottom of that underneath that leaf right there, just kind of tucking it in there like so. A little bit further, there we go. And then this little one on top of the big flower, but behind it. And that green leaf, I didn't want sticking out like that right there. I want it hidden behind the petal so it doesn't show onto the saying. And now I'm going to use some of the extra leaves and tuck them in little spots. And then adding that little flower right there behind it. And the last leaf, add right about there. Just gotta add some glue. Oh, apparently I'm actually gonna add it towards the top. I thought I was doing it there, but that works too. And then I felt that was enough flowers and leaves, so now I was going to glue it onto the card, and that's when I thought, you know, wait a second, let me get my foam out. And I still got a lot of them. These are sheets that I got from Walmart years ago in the kids stuff. I think they still have it, I'm not 100% sure, but remember it was super cheap, and it's just the right you know, thickness that I like. And I'm just getting a little pencil and just kind of drawing it in how big I want it, and I'm using my mini trimmer to cut it down. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect because it's not being seen. It's just enough to give a little bit of border, but I don't want it exactly so it's not so noticeable, so I want a little bit smaller. And then I just added some glue on the foamy side all over it. And so here I centered it up, and now I'm pressing it down, and I realized that that part where the ribbons were kind of bulged out, and so I don't want that to dimension. I want to lay flat, so I'm getting my X-Acto knife and just very lightly pressing to cut the foam enough, and I could just tear it right out. And so now there won't be a big bulk in the center, so it kind of lays out flat. And now I'm going to remove the paper for the sticky part is of the sticker, foam stickers. And now I'm going to add just a little bit of extra glue just in case. Granted, these actually stick really well. I've been really impressed with them. And now I'm going to glue it onto the card and making sure I got it in the right position, making sure that it's facing up instead of upside down. And just center it just right, and just like that. I'm really loving the way this turned out. I'm just pressing it down. The reason why I used the Forever and Always is because they made a wooden sign that says Forever and Always and then had their date on there, and I thought this was perfect. This was the wood, the closest color I could get, and I think it matched up really well. They absolutely loved it. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.